In a world where royal weddings are rare, carefully orchestrated spectacles of history and love, today's union was expected to be grand, but ordinary. After all, Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark were born into royal duty. Marriage between two young heirs was almost inevitable. But here's the shocking truth: what unfolded in Copenhagen was nothing short of revolutionary. A wedding not just between two royals, but between two future monarchs, rewriting the narrative of European royalty for generations to come. And yet, the most surprising part. Behind the glittering crown jewels, the historic cathedral, and the breathtaking carriages, what captured the world's heart wasn't the grandeur at all. It was the fragile, unfiltered humanity of two young people, standing at the threshold of history, daring to love each other not because of duty, but in spite of it. This is the story of the 2025 royal wedding, a day that began as a ceremony and ended as a legend. From the earliest hours of the morning, Copenhagen awoke under a sky brushed with soft autumn light. Streets were lined with flags of red and white for Denmark, red and yellow for Spain. Families poured into the city center, children perched on shoulders, elderly couples wrapped in scarves against the September breeze. The sound of bells rang faintly in the distance, yet it was not just bells. It was the heartbeat of a nation awaiting history. The first glimpse of anticipation came as foreign royals began to arrive. From Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands, carriages rolled through the cobblestone streets. The British royal family's presence drew whispers, William and Catherine stepping out with their children, their every move dissected by cameras. But the question on everyone's lips remained the same: what would Princess Leonor wear? And more importantly, how would she carry the weight of both her country and her heart down the aisle? At 10 a.m., the air shifted. The doors of Amalienborg Palace opened, and there she stood. Princess Leonor, radiant beyond imagination, stepping into the world in a gown that silenced even the most skeptical observers. Crafted by Spanish designers with delicate Danish embroidery, the dress merged tradition with symbolism, a message that this marriage was not just about love, but about unity between two nations. The lace traced across her shoulders in patterns reminiscent of Spain's royal heritage, while the train swept behind her with motifs of Denmark's royal lilies. But the detail that stunned the crowd most was her crown, a diamond tiara once worn by her mother, Queen Letizia, and adjusted carefully for Leonor's young, graceful frame. It was a tiara that told a story, of inheritance, of responsibility, of a daughter stepping into her destiny. Then came Prince Christian. Dressed in Denmark's military ceremonial uniform, he entered the cathedral with steady poise, yet his eyes betrayed the nerves of a young man about to make the most public promise of his life. For him, this was not only about marrying Leonor, it was about becoming a bridge between tradition and the future. When the music swelled, and the doors opened once more, Leonor began her walk down the aisle. Her father, King Felipe VI, held her hand firmly, his own eyes glistening as he guided his eldest daughter forward. Every step was heavy with memory, his little girl, once a shy child delivering her first speech at 13, now walking toward her future as a queen. As she approached, Christian's gaze locked on hers. Cameras captured it, but no lens could truly convey the raw, unguarded moment between them. It was the look of two young people who, despite centuries of history pressing down upon them, saw only each other. The vows, spoken softly but clearly, were steeped in both tradition and emotion. Leonor promised loyalty not only as a wife but as a partner in the journey that lay ahead. Christian responded with a voice that trembled at first, then steadied. His love for her, he declared, was not an accident of birth but the choice of his heart. The silence that followed each vow was electric. And when they exchanged rings, Leonor's simple yet stunning band crafted from Spanish gold and Danish sapphires, the applause erupted like thunder rolling across the cathedral. Outside, the city roared. Bells rang from every church tower, cannons fired in salute, and crowds pressed against barriers just to catch a glimpse of the newlyweds. But what no one could have expected came just moments later. Instead of retreating into the gilded carriages awaiting them, Leonor and Christian broke tradition. Hand in hand, they stepped toward the cheering crowd, walking among the people who had gathered. They waved, they smiled, they reached out to touch hands extended toward them. For a brief few minutes, royalty dissolved into humanity. And yet, beyond the public joy, the wedding was also marked by quiet, intimate moments that few could see but all could feel. Inside the reception hall, Queen Margrethe, frail but dignified, offered her blessing with words that brought tears to even the sternest faces. Queen Letizia, watching her daughter begin a new life, whispered a prayer in Spanish only Leonor could hear. Crown Princess Mary of Denmark embraced Leonor with maternal warmth, symbolizing the merging of two royal families not by politics but by love. The banquet itself was a masterpiece of symbolism: Spanish wines paired with Danish delicacies, speeches given in both languages, and music that flowed from classical symphonies to heartfelt folk songs. King Philippe's toast spoke of legacy, while Prince Christian's toast spoke only of love, his voice steady, his words disarmingly simple. "I loved her before I knew her," he said, "and I will love her long after we are gone." But as night fell, one final moment sealed the day as legendary. The couple stepped out onto the palace balcony. The lights of Copenhagen glittered below, torches flickered in the crowd, and the moon cast its silver glow across the city. As they kissed, longer, softer, more vulnerable than any kiss a royal had dared before, the world felt it. Not as duty, not as protocol, but as truth. And that is why this wedding will not be remembered simply as an alliance of crowns. It will be remembered as a turning point, a reminder that even in the most gilded cages, love can still set history free. Because when Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark said, "I do," they did more than unite nations. They united hearts across the globe. They gave the world a story not of fairy tales, but of reality: two young heirs, carrying the weight of centuries, daring to choose each other anyway. And as the bells of Copenhagen fade into memory, one truth remains undeniable: this was not just a royal wedding. This was the beginning of a new chapter for Europe, for monarchy, and for love itself.